1 week from tonight, Super Bowl 60 is a rematch of Super Bowl 49, Patriots Seahawks. No Tom Brady, no Russell Wilson, no Malcolm Butler. Instead, it's Drake Maye and Sam Darnold in a matchup that is nightmare fuel for the Jets and their fans. And speaking of the Jets, Antwan Staley covers gangrene and the NFL for the Daily News. Great to have you with us in studio here, Antwan. I know it's been a year for the Jets, and we're going to talk about that. I want to talk about this Super Bowl matchup right now, especially from your perspective. You've seen the Patriots twice this year against the Jets. You covered Sam Darnold when he was a quarterback after the Jets with the Panthers. This is a tough matchup, though, if you're a Jets fan, to watch this, to see your rivals in there and to see the quarterback that you had in the building on the other side of it with Seattle.
Yeah, I think so, too. But I feel like a lot of Jets fans are rooting for Sam Darnold because they feel like he was in an impossible situation. You talk about, just the time you spent with Adam Gase there and, having a 7-win season in 2019 and also a 2-win season in 2020. They decided to cut the cord, especially when Robert Saleh and obviously Joe Douglas wanted to pick their own quarterback there with Zach Wilson. So I feel like a lot of Jet fans just feel it's kind of bittersweet seeing somebody like quarterback or somebody that you were in kind of relationship with go on the greener pastures with Seattle, and then you got your biggest rival 3 years out of the playoffs, and now they're back in the Super Bowl.
Crazy. So let's talk about Darnold for a minute. What have you seen from Sam Darnold? And you covered him when he was with the Panthers. It took a few steps along the way for him to get to this point. He had success obviously with Minnesota and now with Seattle, but it's not like the Jets were the only team that it didn't work out with.
Yeah, I think now you're seeing somebody that's very confident. I think him going to San Francisco really helped him. It helped him get reset there, getting with Kyle Shanahan there, the offense that really believed in him, and just sitting back and just, learning from Brock Purdy, too, just for a little bit as well. And, ended up going to Minnesota, did really great things there. I think they should be getting, a lot of flack of,
If anyone, exactly. Yeah. You had him in the building, and
he led them to 14 wins last year.
Big numbers.
On 14 wins there, barely, didn't win the division, barely. And I feel like now, you have a Minnesota Vikings team that's with J.J. McCarthy is back to square one. Basically with a rookie quarterback.
So it could be worse, Jets fans. It could be worse, I guess. I don't know. But then you look at the other side and you see Drake Maye, MVP candidate, has the Patriots with this 10-game turnaround. Which is best in the NFL, from 4-13 the year before to 14-3 this year, matching the 99 Colts, the 2008 Dolphins. It's incredible.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people expected him to be really good, just not this fast. I mean, I've seen Drake Maye since he was in high school in North Carolina, and from the Charlotte area. He was one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Could have went there anywhere in the country, Alabama, but decided to go to UNC because he's a legacy guy. Obviously, his family went to UNC, but he was just
did you think he would be this?
No, not this quickly. Not this quickly. I knew he was a really good quarterback at UNC, kind of mismanaged under Matt Brown, but to get with Mike Vrabel and obviously Josh McDaniels, who's had a lot of success with a lot of different quarterbacks, and particularly Tom Brady, he just unlocked that key. And then you saw him with the Jets. They just rolled over the Jets there in December. But he looked so confident and poised in the pocket. Even when his rookie year against the Jets, I felt like he was just really a guy that could take the team on his back and just lead them to success. But I never saw this coming, winning the AFC in his second year and getting to the Super Bowl.
He does have just kind of a quiet confidence about him. It's always been there, hasn't it?
Yeah, it always has been there. He's a guy that doesn't say a whole lot there, really low-key there, has a lot of nice manners, but, he's a winner.
You get the right quarterback with the right coach. That's it in the NFL, right?
Yeah,
and that's what the Jets are trying to do, but we just haven't figured that out.
I mean, they've been trying this for a very long time, especially in particular the last 15 years there. And, now they're back to really square one again. I know you have Aaron Glenn with the coach there, but now he's trying to find some kind of quarterback there. And now it's not a great quarterback draft. Fernando Mendoza is going to be taking over one.
There's no chance.
Outside that,
players are not going to give up on
No, they'd be crazy to give that up.
How thin is the ice that Aaron Glenn is on right now?
Scorching. Like Woody Johnson was not happy after the end of the season, so he was pretty livid there. Obviously, he didn't make the change to fire him, but I think it would have cost him a lot of money in order to do so. So now you bring him back. Hopefully, you can give him some support there. The Jets are going to have over $80 million to spend in salary cap. Also have a ton of draft picks, 4 picks in the top 44. So Aaron Glenn, nobody's expected a Patriots turnaround, but you got to go from 3 wins to at least 7 or 8. I think in order for him to keep his job.
That's a tall order for this Jets team.
Yeah.
They've kept Aaron Glenn, but they changed just about everything else around him.
Yeah, the staff is completely changed there, other than 5 coaches there. Now you're looking for also an offensive coordinator there. It looks like it's going to be possibly Frank Wright and maybe some combination of Darryl Bevel. Also, some other Greg Roman too is also in the midst too as well. 2 of those are probably going to be on the staff at some point of the Jets next year.
It feels like they put themselves in a bad spot with this kind of turnover.
Yeah, a lot of coaches, when you have this amount of turnover, more often than not, a coach doesn't last very much longer. Because I think a lot of people think Aaron Glenn, fairly or unfairly, he's on the hot seat going into next year. And if you're a guy that has a lot of options, why would you choose the Jets to come there when you might be looking for a job in a year from now?
So what does Woody do from this point? I mean, you obviously would like to see Aaron Glenn succeed. That's the hope. But if you have to fire a coach, is he capable of doing this mid-season here with the Jets? Not even 2 years into the Aaron Glenn tenure?
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. Like, I think if they got off to an 0-5, 0-6 start, and if you look at their opponents next year, the schedule isn't out to be out in May, but if you look at their opponents, it's going to be a daunting task. Like, you're playing the AFC West, you're playing teams, obviously Buffalo there, who's improved, the Patriots too as well. So, yeah, you got a very, very tough schedule.
Is that relationship frayed? Because it seemed like there was such a bond between Glenn and Woody.
I don't think it's fragile, but I think Woody wants to win, and he feels the pressure. And also, you got ticket prices increasing each and every year with the Jets in MetLife Stadium. Sure. Fans are very angry and upset. And it's been 15 years since they made the playoffs. So at some point, you got to produce. And then you see a team like the Patriots, as we talked about, 3 years without making the playoffs. And they get a quarterback and coach, and then all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl.
A coach the Jets interviewed.
Correct. And they won it. They really wanted Mike Vrabel, but once the Patriots job became available, there was no chance.
I feel like Mike Vrabel maybe used the Jets
for
a little bit
leverage.
There,
yeah,
right?
Definitely for leverage too. I mean, I can't blame him. He got the job that he wanted.
3 Super Bowls, obviously, as a player with the Patriots. He has a chance now to be just the 8th coach to lead the team that he played for into the Super Bowl. I wonder if Aaron Glenn could join that list. It feels far-fetched to even think that.
Yeah, I think now you're just hoping for a winning season if you're the Jets too, more or less, or making the playoffs or getting to a Super Bowl at this point.
Does calling the defensive plays help him?
I mean, if I'm going to go out, I'd rather go out swinging my way. So yeah, I actually think it's a good job. I think it's good that he's calling plays there. You don't want to put your future in or your faith in somebody else's hand. If I'm going to get fired, I might as well just go ahead and go out swinging.
Robert Saleh said it was the one regret he had with his time with the Jets. So let's look ahead to the offseason. You got the combine in a couple weeks. You'll be out there covering that. There's a lot of things that are on the Jets' plate. You mentioned the money they've got to play with, the draft picks that they have to play with. What's next? What's the pressing need here for the Jets that you think they need to just dive right?
Well, first off, they're going to have to make a decision on Breece Hall. Like, the franchise tag, you can be tagged starting on February 17th up until March 2nd, and then they're going to have to decide whether they can place that tag on him. It's basically going to be $14 million, and if you place the transition tag, it'll be around $11.5 million.
Okay, so let's start with that. You've got a piece coming out on that tomorrow.
Yes.
Look for that in the Daily News. And then, who knows? We're diving into draft coverage from there, and we'll see. Free agency looms, and we got a lot to talk about in the offseason.
Oh, yeah. Sure. We got a laundry list to talk about with the Jets, for sure.
Antwan Staley covers the Jets for the Daily News. Great to have him in here as the Jets beat writer and columnist for the news. And, of course, busy in the offseason. You got free agency, you got the draft, you got mini camp. Never ends.
Yeah,
you going to get a vacation in there somewhere?
Yeah, I hope so, too. I get to get away from this weather, so.
All right, Antwan, thanks for coming by.
All right, thanks for having me.
And a reminder, everybody, NBC4 is your home for Super Bowl 60, 1 week from tonight. It's the Seahawks and the Patriots at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Pre-game show kicks off at 1, and the game kicks off shortly after 6 o'clock. Should be fun. We'll be right back after this.